This is where the fun begins.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Chat. I hope you guys are having a great morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are tuning in from. And I'm happy to be with you here on the show. It looks kind of dark on my screen here. I don't know why. So I'll have to figure that out. Maybe because of where the sun is at and I need to adjust things, but I hope you guys are doing good. And let's see who is in the chat so far. We have Orange Hat Review. Hello, how are you doing? I am glad you are here with me. And Chaos Man, thank you so much for tuning in. And it looks like everybody's slowly trickling in. Thank you guys for tuning in. And first thing is, please go vote if you haven't. Please go vote and let me know
you guys for tuning.
Which Imperial officer you like out of Tassi Dala, out of Wilhuff Tarkin, Isani Isard, or Mithran Nurodo, or that's Thrawn. His core name is Thrawn, and core means the middle part of his name. That's what they use for their name, so Thrawn. So far, this is the standings. Natasi Dala, 7%. Wilhuff Tarkin, 14%. Isani Isard is 36%. And Thrawn, or Mithran Nurodo, is at 43%. Oh, wow. I can't believe that just rolled off my tongue. I'm pretty proud of myself right there. Yeah, so please go vote there and get your vote in as well. So, yeah. Let's see here what Orange has to say. Whoops. It has been, let's see here. Here we go. It is a toss-up for me. Isard and Thrawn are my top two because of their ruthlessness and intelligence. Yes, I agree. And like Dala, she has a long standing as well with what she has done and all of that. And I don't know why I don't know, but that's okay. That's okay. So, yeah. So please get your vote in. And also, as you're coming in, let me know what you're enjoying in your mug, your drink of choice here. And please like and share that we are live here. Good morning. And I apologize for the yesterday. I was supposed to be on Babe to Menace, and that didn't happen. And also do my HoloNet journal this month in March for Lucasfilm, this pre-Disney, but because of road construction and stuff around my house, I did not want to, have any problems with sound and, background sound noise and stuff like that. So let's see here. Thrawn personifies what it is to be an Imperial and being the greatest tactician in Star Wars. Yes. Well, yeah, he does. And then if you get into the Isani Isar too as well, she is very tactical. I think Dala, she has a lot of brain power and a lot of she would be what you consider a female Moff, and so she has same significance as Tarkin. So and then you have the story of like our the hinting around that her and Tarkin had a relationship as well. And so it's very interesting anyways. So I can't wait to see who wins. I pretty much have an idea. I do. I pretty much have an idea. Yeah. So let's see here. Anybody else bouncing in? We have about 8 people. You guys, please hit the like button. And today we are going to go through a little bit of an insider that I wanted to just share with you guys. It's an Insider 25 from 1995. I thought it's fun to look through with you guys. And my computer updated, so I got to figure out where I can take care of the lighting and stuff. This is weird. And then also to laugh at someone who made a article about me on Twitter. So I'm going to share that with you. I guess George Lucas sold because of me. So that's breaking news. And so that's the breaking news here. And also I wanted to share something from Pop Culture Classroom on a convention going on in Denver and what they what they said about Gina Carano, who's going to be there. She's making an appearance. And so I wanted to cover that bit of news and then maybe talk with that in correlations with the boycott Disney stuff, because it kind of goes in hand. But Gina Carano, as I stand with Gina Carano, I look at as a very different, yeah, it goes into free speech. It goes to into 1A. But with this thing about Disney deciding not to stay silent and getting into something that's probably bigger than they should, and parents are not liking it. Parents. So when you mess with the kids, you mess with the parents, they're going to take a stand. And that's what we're seeing here. And we have people bouncing in. Hello, Kathy Skywalker, a channel member. How are you doing? And Orange Chat Review as well is a channel member. Hello there. And let me know what's in your coffee. Share that we're live. And the Gordon Good Brother channel. It's hard to pick a favorite. I know I put up some very notable ones. I did. And I did that for a reason. Like last week, I really didn't put any notable Jedi from the first generation of the Jedi Academy, Luke's Jedi Academy. And so I didn't put up two favorites, but this one I did. I put up favorites. I did that for a reason. I did it for a reason. And there we go. And so this one, this one I want you guys to think, really think. We have two fabulous Imperial women that went in and took over, I guess you could say, like boss ladies. And you have the two men, Tarkin and Thrawn. I didn't put Pelion. So I didn't put him, but that's okay. Let's see here. Hello there from Alex. How are you doing? And let's see here. And believe me, many parents in my area of New York has parents openly boycotting everything Disney. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, I get the stand with Gina Carano. I do stand with her free choice of, freedom of speech and stuff like that. And I also didn't think that what she had shared was bad at all. And I didn't think, I got blocked by her, but I think it's a chain block. Shit happens. I don't care. So yeah. And then this said, no, hello there. How are you doing? I am doing well myself, you guys. I am sipping on some coffee here. And I didn't have breakfast yet, but that's okay. That's okay. I will have that in a little bit. Yeah. So as we get started, we have 12 here. Please hit the like button and please share out that we are live. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the article up from Pop Culture. And where's my mouse? I'm trying to figure out how to change the color of my mouse on this computer here, my laptop. And I still haven't figured it out yet. And I went into settings and all that. Let's see here. There we go. Windows, Chrome. There we go. And let's see here. So this is that one from Pop Culture Classroom. And I'm going to share what they said here. So Gina Carano is going to be at the Fan Expo in Denver. And this is what they said about her. And we'll go through here and take a look. Let me make sure that it's viewable in your guys' screen there. Yes, it is. All right. So I thought this would be important to share. And so that's what I am doing here. Let's see here. All right. So the statement from Pop Culture Classroom on Gina Carano's scheduled appearance at Fan Expo Denver. Pop Culture Classroom is committed to creating welcoming and inclusive. So think of that, welcoming and inclusive spaces through our educational programs at Fan Expo Denver. So here's the statement. The statement about that right here. So here's the first statement. Pop Culture Classroom is committed to creating welcoming and inclusive spaces through our educational program at Fan Expo Denver. And I'm originally from Colorado, so I know the areas there and stuff like that. So PCC was not consulted on the booking of Gina Carano and opposes her involvement in the Fan Expo Denver event. And there we go. So, and here is number 2. The statement from Pop Culture Classroom on Gina Carano is scheduled appearance at Fan Expo Denver. So this is continuation. PCC was not consulted on the booking of Gina Carano at the event. And this is what they stated about her. Okay. Kuranos, let me go ahead and just zoom into this. And people are sharing this portion here. Kuranos' past comments and actions are at direct odds with our organization's mission to celebrate diversity and build inclusive pop culture spaces where all free feel welcomed. All feel welcome. So here's a statement here that I just read. So again, so they want people to feel welcome. They want to provide a safe space. They want diversity, but okay. So if you're a Gina Carano fan, then you're not welcome really, because she's not welcomed because of what she shared a while back. They're like, let's continue to cancel her. Let's continue to, and she hasn't stated anything that was really particularly harmful. And, but they don't want her there. They don't want her there. And, she signed the contract, so they can't do anything about it other than saying that she's not particularly welcomed in their pop culture classroom. And so here is another one here. We've expressed our opinion to the team at Fan Expo Denver, and Karana will not be participating in any of pop culture classrooms, educational programs, or activities during the event. So they're saying, we don't care, so imagine this. Okay, so you're over there, you're there because of the character you played in Disney, Star Wars. People are anticipating you. Disney went ahead and can't try to fired you because of something that you shared and then your own coworker that you worked with shared something just the same, but didn't get the same ramifications, so they didn't get the same treatment, right? And so now they're saying, oh, well, because we don't like what she posted, we don't want her involved, but we can't, but just because we can't have her, we can't just kick her out because you signed the contract and stuff like that. We are not going to allow her to be in any of the classrooms or educational program or activities during the event. And wouldn't you think that maybe if you didn't have the same viewpoints, that this would be a time and an educational experience for the person that you disagree with? You would think that, okay, since I don't disagree, or since I disagree with them, maybe having this person participate in the culture classrooms and activities, maybe they'll learn something. And maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I'll learn that maybe I do agree, or maybe I can agree to disagree. Wouldn't you think that would be more productive than saying, oh, we're just going to ban her from all these activities and programs, educational program during the event? Wouldn't you think that that's the more productive, proactive way to go about it? When you disagree to disagree, that there's a sense of like integrity within yourself, integrity towards the other person, and there's a little bit of note of respect or compassion, because we don't, like, there's people on my channel, and I communicate with you guys on Twitter. Sometimes we don't agree on the same stuff, and I've had disagreements with people, and and people who are close to me, I guess you could say, in Twitter space. And yeah, some of it didn't turn out very good, but that's just fine. And my point is still, agree to disagree, have that bit of respect, and then also, even if you feel like you don't agree and you're feeling like you're backed up in the corner, don't result into ad hominems and stuff like that. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent there, but wouldn't you think that would be a more productive way with someone that maybe you feel that you didn't agree with their actions, you didn't agree with what they shared, but you can find a focal point of creating some kind of unity, some kind of open space, I guess you could say, for understanding and learning from each other. Maybe they will, you can learn that this person that you don't want involved in the full extent of this expo, maybe you would find that maybe there's a lot of points that they agree with you on, or maybe there's pop culture points that you agree with them on. So there you go. So that's what disturbs me here, is how can we find common ground? How can we, if we can't be open to inviting people that we disagree with into our space and learning from each other and learning from an event, because you never know, you might find that common ground. And now this is going to alienate any fan of hers, any fan of hers. So now not only are you just alienating her, you are alienating people who are coming into your expo and supporting you because of that. There you go. So that's my piece on that. Let me see what you guys have to say. That's no, I'm brewing a pot right now myself. Awesome. What is your choice of coffee when you brew coffee, you guys? What do you like? Do you have like a certain brand? You know, like the generic ones are like Folgers, for example. But is there any off brand or brand that's not well known that you like? And so share with me. Okay, let's see here. Going to be fun watching all these Star Wars fans who derided Disney about grooming and fall back in line like a crack addict and watch Kenobi in masses. And that's the thing. I think Twitter is such a small group compared to the greater world. Did you guys see that here in California, I live in California, that there is a boycott, a protest going on at Disney? There was. I don't know if it's going on today, but there was yesterday. I believe it was yesterday within this time frame. There was. When you mess with kids, you know, and parental rights, there's getting more than just the fans of Disney Star Wars stepping up. And that's been my point with this, is that when you mess with the kids, when you start telling parents what they can or cannot do when it comes to the kids' education, when it comes to supporting parental structures and families, you know, in the family structure, you're gonna have parents make a stand. They're like, oh hell no, you're not going to tell me what these teachers like. You're not going to tell me I can't have a say with what these teachers are telling my kids, right? You know, and so that's what's going on here. And I do believe it's bigger than the Gina Carano. I stand with Gina Carano, even though it's tied behind freedom of speech, right? But there are some similarities and there's some differences, because, you know, without Gina Carano, or without this I Stand with Gina, basically the freedom of speech kind of thing, and being able to voice your own opinion and blah, 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 then we wouldn't be able to have these protests, right? So there's that link right there. But when it comes to parental rights and children and stuff like that, parents are no hold bar. They are going to get up and they're going to be like, oh, hell no. Okay, so I'm not agreeing with this. And I believe that Disney should have just remained quiet, because this bill has nothing to do with them. They could still choose to hire who they want. They're their own company, right? But this bill has nothing to do with their company, their structure, anything like that. The bill doesn't even have anything to do with not being able to say gay or saying gay whatsoever. And that's my astonishment with the stance of some of these people, is like, oh, well, we can't say gay and we can't blah, blah. No one's saying that. That bill's not saying that. And so we have this going on. We have this mixed conception and twisting of words, straw manning of words, I guess you can say, you know, and parents not liking that, and and not liking a company, a big corporate company, a monopoly company, because Disney is a monopoly company. If you look at everything that they have invested in and own, it's a lot of media. They are a monopoly. And so when you want to boycott Disney, you need to go and do your research and say, okay, it's not just Star Wars. It's not just this other thing. It's not just this. And go in there and research that, and stand your ground and stuff like that. And so right here, you know, with Gina Carano, you know, it's like, where do we come to a point when we just agree to disagree and learn from each other? Even if we're on opposing sides, I guess you could say, we can always learn from each other. And you know, and so I don't agree with this fan expo, not one bit. I think that they should be open. She's not in there threatening anybody. She's not causing harm. Words aren't violence. I'm sorry, they're not. And that's the past. and it's a learning point for everybody. And this is a great chance to come on common ground with pop culture and have fun, learn, and open the doors of understanding, I guess you can say. And let's see here. I love the black and orange motif. I do the same. Let's see. I don't know what's about. Let's see here. And let's see here. Hey, Alex, a piece on them and their diversity. Then, right? I know if they really truly welcome diversity, they would welcome diversity of thought, and that's my point right there. They would welcome diversity of thought. All right. And hi, Michael. How are you doing? She made a lukewarm post, compared her to co-star Pedro IG's post. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And nothing happened with him. So that's where, the hypocrisy falls in with the company. Not being welcomed at Disney, Star Wars. Where's the loss exactly? Yeah. The Sentinel, she had the wrong politics, and that's why all of this has happened. Yeah, that's right. It's like, and again, I don't know if you guys, I might be older than some of you guys that are in the chat, but if you look back at your grandparents and your parents, and how maybe there's been talk when you're little, because we're not supposed to, like how I was raised, adult talk was not for us. We were told to go outside and play, but being kids, we always listened no matter what when we had the chance. So we'd hear opposing sides with family views and whatever the stance was and stuff. And yeah, they got heated sometimes, but we lived, we survived through it. They agreed to disagree. There was no like, I can't be your relative anymore kind of deal. And we have gone far past that type of like agree to disagree and what have you. Sometimes, and even in the past, there's times that people disown family members for their own thoughts. I'm not saying that everything was perfect even back then. That has happened, but now it's more polarized. It's more, in front of your face today. Wholeheartedly agree. Agree. I'm pretty sure that's what you meant to say. Diversity of thought is important, and sadly trying to be erased from society. PCC don't want educational experiences. They want indoctrination. Yeah. Let's see here. Common ground. Let's not talk to each other. Yeah. Let's just turn our, but you know what? Even if, politics, this is a pop culture place, right? This is a pop culture expo, fan expo, right? Let's not talk about politics. Let's just talk about the characters we love. Let's just talk about the franchises we love. Let's just nerd out together. See, that's the common ground. So this doesn't have to happen. That's the common ground. And Master of the TDS, hello, I have arrived. Thank you for popping in. And you've had such a crazy week. I followed you and another person with your guys' tweets that really triggered a lot of people. And oh my God. Oh my goodness. And then I prefer Cafe La Lavelle of a chicory. Oh, okay. I might have said that wrong. Or a chicory drip. Oh, I have had chicory coffee. That's very interesting. I've had Turkish coffee too, which holy crap. Talking about being buzzed on the first sip. That crap is strong. It's really good, but it's strong. Holy crap. Good stuff. I had it in Turkey, by the way. So I have been, out of these states. Buzz Jones, because Disney doesn't care about equality and diversity. They just are con artists and want only their viewpoint listened to, and silence anyone that disagrees with them. That's the thing. They think they're protecting a certain group of people. But when you look down to it, when you look at the meat and potatoes of this, and I haven't used that analogy in a while, it's all about just money for them. It's all about money for them. That's it. They want to pretend to care. It's all about money for them in the long run. And let's see here. Oh boy, do I miss the days of being little and not having this kind of stuff and just enjoying everything, of not worrying, of not seeing this. All right. Michael. Hi, Michael. Michael. Imagine Disney merging with Amazon. That's real life Wayland. Wayland Utany. My God, you never know. Again, Disney is such a monopoly. They are owners of a lot of companies, a lot. And then they can't allow her to come because these people are unable to look outside of themselves. This is Denver. They're going to be too high. In fact, I bet you there's going to be a lot of fans that are be so happy to see Gina Carano, who is Cara Dune in The Mandalorian. I bet you they're going to bring whatever um you know um if they have the Black Series of her, they're going to bring the action figures, have her sign and stuff like that. I bet you she's going to be well received. Other than by the Fan Expo themselves or pop culture classroom or whatever, um, they are going, the fans themselves are going to probably receive her well at the expo. And so it's going to bite them in the ass. Basically, they take everything super personal because build everything based on their own image, right? Yeah, and that's the thing that's what's going on in pop culture, is that people don't like escapism anymore. They have to have characters that look like them. They have to have um the fiction resemble their life, and that's not escapism. Escapism is being able to submerge yourself into a fantasy, sci-fi fantasy, whatever it is, and experience that world by leaving yours. That's escapism, right? And going in and following the protagonist and the antagonist and see what's going to happen and develop in their journey. And it's very different than ours. It takes us out of our reality for the time being, and we enjoy it. And nowadays people only want to relate to the characters if they look like them, if they have sex like them, if the politics are like theirs. They can't break away from that. And I think that's where the creative block is nowadays, is because people want that, so they're trying to character or they're trying to basically give them that. And I had the word in my at the top of my head, and it just like farted, like what you call brain fart. It just left the building. But they're trying to create um world to fit their image, and it's not working. And we see that it's not working. It's never worked in Star Wars, as we've seen, and it definitely doesn't work in the other franchises. And that's what's going on. It's so you take the fantasy, you take the out of the world experience and put the world in our world in it. It stops being timeless. It really does. It stops being timeless. And so Master of the TDS, if you don't follow him on Twitter, please do. He had a great point. And his point was, and I got exactly what the point was, is that Rey only ignited her yellow lightsaber. Basically, or the company only had her ignite the yellow lightsaber at the end of Rise of Skywalker or Rise of Palpatine, to sell the saber. There was no reason for her to light the lightsaber, and there wasn't really no reason at all, other than, oh, look at me, I have a new lightsaber. Yeah, and so he pointed that out, and then people went crazy on him, saying, well, or Star Wars has always been about selling their merch, and George and blah, and used George's example of like making every opportunity of his movies into merchandise opportunities, which he did. I get it, he did. But when you get down to it, everything that George did, like for the movies, every character, even if it's a secondary character, like Riken, had a point for the story, had to do something that was pivotal to the story. Like, Riken's discussion with Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back shares why Han was like, I have to get out of here because I have debt. I'm not good to you guys right now when I have people after me. And he's like, it's too bad, you're a great soldier. I'm paraphrasing here, so don't shoot me. I'm paraphrasing their conversation. So everything that Lucas did had meaning, right? Even if he made toys off of them, they had meaning. And that was Master of TDS's point, is that there was meaning in the past until now. There's really no meaning behind her igniting a lightsaber whatsoever at the end of the movie, at the end of the series. And people went berserks on him Michael, people need to understand that Twitter isn't real life. Get off the thing and engage people in real time. Yes, it is. It's not real life. It's a great way to communicate with people that you made friends with and you have like on your channel co-hosts and stuff like that and check up and stuff like that. But Twitter is not the real life. Get out and experience life. You can't just be stuck in front of the computer all the damn time. Get out and experience life. You can't accomplish much on social media, even if your own, like I build part of my like yoga business and my graphic design business. I have I use social media for that, and even for the channel I use social media for that. I know the values of that, but real life doesn't occur on social media. It helps enhance some of the stuff in your life, but like for business and stuff, but it's not real life. Get out, enjoy, get out and try something new, do something new, come, if you ever come my way, come to one of my yoga classes, and stuff. That would be fun. Let's see. Howdy, y'all. Rey is a Palpatine, not a Skywalker, right? She definitely is a Palpatine. Chaos Man, hello. While I don't like to talk about politics and pop culture discussions, the bill is hypocrisy, especially seeing the one being made in Tennessee would allow for underage marriage. Oh, okay. I don't know about that one. That's crazy. And if you guys are tuning in, I have 18 of you beautiful souls here. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe and become a member if you can afford. It'll greatly enhance the channel. And I am thinking, and I'll go ahead and take this off the screen here and I'll share with you guys right here. And then I'll go through the chat some more. But I am going to finish this painting and start a campaign for channel members to earn a copy of, and then channel members to get 10% off their own prints if they would want. Let's see here. So of Mara Jade. So there's a few things I have to finish on here and correct, but the title of this one is called Jewel of Coruscant because we really don't know her home planet. And she's basically raised on Coruscant. Palpatine kind of raised her in a sense. And so I am thinking that this will be the next one while I still prepare and get ready to paint the Boba Fett one. So there you go. So if you haven't became a channel member yet, do it. If you don't want to have a chance to win the copy of the painting, then you still get 10% off of any painting that I have for purchase on my website, and it's in the descriptions below. Okay, Chaos Man. While I don't like, okay, I already read that one. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. They all still mad at me even now, but I'm done. Rey is a Palpatine. The end. I know she is a Palpatine, and this whole thing of like, oh well, you don't understand what adoption is. That no adoption ever happened, and them nodding their heads at her and saying it's yours. That's a very vague. What's hers? The homestead, the Lars homestead. Those lightsabers that you buried, what is it? So it's very vague. And so I think that the writing in both the movie and the novelization really doesn't share anything. And so people are writing crap in their heads to make things fit. It's not just Star Wars. It's pretty much all their content lately. I agree. Let's see here. All right. And then I just want to catch up on what you guys are saying here because you guys are fabulous. I love chatting with you guys here. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having a good morning. And hello, Fractured Filter. How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying a wonderful beverage as we are here in coffee chat. And here's mine right here, coffee. And I'm lactose intolerant, so I do use oat milk for the creamer, like a specialized creamer oat milk, and it's so good. Okay, let's see here. And I think they was Script Doctor you are referring to. Yep. Script Doctor too. My point was just saying Rey wasn't a Skywalker. It yeah, so that was Script Doctors and yours is the Rey Skywalker one. So yeah, so sorry about that if I wasn't too clear about that. So Script Doctor was about more or less the lightsaber thing. And then yours is about she's not a Skywalker. There you go. Yeah, so both kind of at the same topic, kind of the same moment, I guess you can say, about, who is a Skywalker and why she's igniting the saber. And yeah, so that was Script Doctors as well. Sorry. Now let's see here. And there's nothing immoral about merchandising. Let's see here. Everybody merchandises, right? I do have merch for my channel. In fact, I haven't took it down yet. I'm going to give it another couple weeks because I haven't had a chance to go in and make the new graphics for the new merch that's coming out that I have ideas for. So you could still get merch from me at my Redbubble, and I believe it's down in the descriptions as well. And it's the Legends Girl merch. I'm switching it over. I don't feel like that title fits me anymore. It's more of a Disney, George Lucas era Star Wars, not Disney Star Wars. And so I'm trying to find a clever way of switching that over, making it worthwhile for you guys to want to support the channel and support some amazing merch. And I think I'm going to use some images from the paintings that I did so far in that collection I'm doing right now. And I think that's where it's going to be at. And because you guys well received it so far with, Ventress, the Mistress of Rat Attack, and then the Son of Kifu, and now the Boba Fett that I'm painting, and then the Mara Jade one. So I'm excited about that. I truly am. Happy day to you, O.G.Starwars. Hey, happy day to you, Happy Dinosaur. How are you doing? How are you doing? Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to pull up this fun article here. So speaking of George Lucas, I need to paint my nails again. Look at that. They're all yucky. But I was in this conversation on Twitter and it was about basically why George Lucas sold Star Wars. There's people think that he sold Star Wars because of the fans and how the fans treated him. And that's not necessarily it, because he was still making Star Wars before he sold. He was going into, having 1313 created, and he was going into Underworld, and he was contemplating on doing the sequel trilogy to where he even, brought back the big three and then eventually sold. And, so he was still doing Star Wars. The company was still strong with the EU during the time. He was putting together the Underworld, the Coruscant, the TV series that he was thinking of doing, and I think I've shared it on my channel before, and all of that. So there was no stepping away from Star Wars, particularly for George, because of the fans' mistreatment of him during the PT time. And so I was talking about that. I'm like, no, he didn't sell Star Wars because of fan backlash. That was more or less, that backlash was created by the media and critiques. And people are like, no, and they insisted, no, he sold because of this, this, and this. And I was like, or because of fan backlash and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, not necessarily. And so I shared his interview with Charlie Rose, and and it just went off from there. So I'm going to go ahead and share something with you guys here. This is so funny. So if you haven't been following me regarding this, you are going to have some good laughs. Excuse me. So let's see here. Oh, a screen share. Okay, why didn't you pop up? Oh, there you go. It's taking its time. It's taking its sweet time. All right. Okay, and share. All right. So here is the article made about me. So basically, this person was like, went off the deep end and was trolling or biting or whatever they are, and posted made up this article about me. And I thought this is super funny. And I was laughing at it, and they thought I was getting mad about it, but I wasn't. I swear to God. And could be the most funnest thing ever made. And I'm just having a good time with it. So this is what they said that George Lucas said about why they sold Star Wars. And I am so impressed that someone took their time to make this shit about me. And it's so entertaining. And so I thought I'd share this with you. I sold Star Wars because of at O.G.Starwars AB, Lucas says. So, O.G.Starwars me. So let's go ahead. And I'm going to zoom in on the bottom here a little bit. All right, so we can all see it. And here we go. So this is funnier than hell. Like I said, this person just took I was on this person's mind so bad that they decided to take the time out to make this article, this fake article here. And here it goes, quote, he was always sending his ideas. So this is referring to me, and they misgendered me. So this person misgendered because I'm not a he. He was always sending his ideas in snail mail to Skywalker Ranch. You know, George Lucas says. George Lucas recently expounded on why he sold Star Wars to Disney, and it turns out it all came down to one person. And then this is George's quote here. Quote, it was this guy, O.G.Starwars or something on Twitter, Lucas explains. he sorry, this is funny. He was always sending those odd ideas and pitches, and it gets funnier. I swear to God, it gets funnier. You guys are going to love this, to Skywalker Ranch via the mail. I remember one where he pitched a miniseries about Jar Jar Binks that graphically described how Gungans used the refreshers on Republic starships. At least they got something right, refreshers. That'd be better than the Star Wars that Disney did. I'm just saying. Let's just say that's not what I had in mind when I created Jar Jar for Kids. He goes on further, saying, quote, another amazing idea he used to send in to us is, what if Boba Fett had a fetish about lining his helmet with cream cheese before he put it on and used to lick it off on the inside? Or it off, yeah, the inside, giggling to himself that to outsiders he could look like he was just standing there being cool. I mean, I know I created nice noodles and all, but this guy was truly bonkers. I couldn't take it anymore. Lucas goes on to say he sold the $1 billion franchise, and it's not $1 billion. It's not just $1 billion. It's $4 billion plus, just to stop the increasingly ludicrous ideas from pouring in. So this person thought they were mocking me and shared this. And then I was laughing. I'm like, well, thank you for taking the time out and making this article about me and stuff like that. And then he's like, oh, it's true. And you can't deny it. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? I'm just like, just go with it, dude. I mean, you seriously just took the time out just to make this funny article. I'm amused. Thank you. You win an award. This is the most fun thing I've ever had done about me. And I don't know where your counter is about in this with me saying that George, in his interview with Charlie Rose, why he sold. And so this person, I mean, so some people went in and was like, you're just an idiot and blah, 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 blah. That's just standard Twitter bull crap, right? So there you go. So basically, I am the reason. It's official now. I am the reason George sold Star Wars, because I wanted Jar Jar, him to give us a series about Jar Jar using refreshers on the Republic starships. And then I wanted, Boba Fett to have a fetish about cream cheese and licking it in his helmet while he's standing there. And I'm pretty sure that would be a lot better than what Disney has put out so far. And then you must kill Luke Skywalker, not marry him and have a children with him. Yeah. Let's see here. And Kathy, can I still call myself a Skywalker? Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see here. And oat milk and almond milk are a woman drink, real men drink actual cow milk. Well, yeah, I mean, it just all depends on your gut and what you're taking care of with your insides. Rey has ruined the meaning of overpowered. A character could be very powerful, but have personal flaws. If a villain was very powerful, it would make and that's the thing. The protagonist is only as strong as their antagonist. And Kylo's not that great. They did not do a good job with Kylo, honestly. And let's see here. Glee Girl, George Lucas era. Yep, maybe. Let's see here. And then slap that like button. It told a bad joke. I love that. Thank you, Vato homie. That is awesome. Thank you. You always bring it. Let's see here. And I'm so sorry. Soul Assassin crying. I still want 1313. I know. I think everybody. There's a lot of people that we're anticipating, that along with the Sword of the Jedi trilogy. So there's a lot of people that were anticipating all this stuff that was coming out, and then it got canceled, right? And then 1313 was going to tie to Underworld series as well. That would have been epic to see that, to see what George had planned. When you look at the behind the scenes, like of what he was doing with 1313 at the time, this that leaked out. Man, Coruscant looks amazing. I mean, it's just like the prequel Coruscant, right? It looked amazing, and what was going on in that scene was like riveting. And yeah, I would watch. I would totally have been into that. That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more to see what you guys have to say about that. I may head off early, O.G.Stars. I love your vids and discussions, though. Thank you so much for coming in, Buzz Joan, and I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. And then it says, is that a Babylon Bee article? I don't know where it came from, but I don't know. And but that is funnier than hell. I swear to God, this person thought they were I got you kind of deal. But to me, I was like, thank you so much for entertaining me. You're such an entertaining troll. Thank you so much for making me laugh. Let's see here. And laugh out loud. If you have this much influence to make George Lucas sell Star Wars OG, I need you to get Zach to sell me Facebook for $5 and a bag of chips. Boom, there you go. I know. I wish I had a chance to sit down with George Lucas. Honestly, if I ever had a chance to interview him, oh my God, that would be so amazing. I'm not the kind of person that will just go dumb and stuff over someone big like that. I would like seriously want to sit down and have a full-on discussion with them. I want to get into their head. I want to know everything and blah, blah, blah. I don't get starstruck easy. I know a few like native actors and actresses and stuff like Floyd Westerman, who is a native elder actor that if you watched Dances with Wolves, which is an easier one to refer to, he is the old man, 10 Bears, I think, with his long gray hair. So him, and there's a few other people, and they're, to me, they're just ordinary people. That's their profession, right? And they're just ordinary people, and that's just how I see that. I mean, I'm very different when it comes to that. Small Time Republic, hey, how you doing? O.G.Starwars, you're to blame for Disney Star Wars, I guess. Dang it. I know, right? Oh my God, I've been discovered. I am the reason Disney Star Wars and Rey and all of them exist. I'm so sorry. All I wanted was Jar Jar and a series of him and Gungans wanting to use refreshers in the Republic starships because they didn't have their own refreshers. That's all. And all I wanted to do was just let Boba Fett have a fetish with cream cheese. That's all. And George just didn't want to go that way. He didn't want to listen to me. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that we have Kylo and Luke was destroyed, all of that. I am discovered. I am discovered. Odd ideas and pitches, laugh out loud. Yeah. Oh my God, this is hilarious. He should have gotten more than $4 billion. I agree. Gungans are cool. Cream cheese helmet, right? Oh my God. I was like, I can't wait for Coffee Chat to share this with you guys, because some of you guys may or may not see my conversations with this. Some of you guys might be like, oh shit, there goes Allura again, or there goes O.G.Starwars again with these trolls. I'm just gonna let it be. But this is funny. And let's see. Well, at least you didn't jump the fence at the ranch. Right. That would actually be fun. Cheese in the helmet. Why is it? I'd rather watch that than the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know. It probably sounds better. Please tell him to do an article about all of us. Yes, I know. That was fun. I swear to God, this is a laugh and this is entertaining, I guess. It should have finished by George gives all those odd ideas to Kennedy, right? Let's see here. And Mr. Dystopian, hello, how are you doing? I still want Battlefront 3. I know. I am scared to see what they're gonna do with the remake of the Old Republic game. Let's see here. And Jaina Solo is greater than Rey. We all know that. Let's see here. Boba Fett, the cookbook of Boba Fett. Cheesecake with cream cheese. That's what it's made with. How to cook your cheesecake in a helmet. There you go, in a Mandalorian helmet. I don't blame Daisy though. It was the producers and marketing. No, I have nothing against the actors and actresses whatsoever. It's how they destroyed the character and lore, and that's what I have a problem with, and that's why we are here. We are here, and it's about George Lucas era of Star Wars mostly on my channel with these funny takes right here. This is so entertaining, I swear to God. And then let's see here. Let's see. Fun fact, OG convinced Elon Musk to buy. There we go. Someone needs to share that article that I am the one that convinced him to buy 9% of Twitter. True story. Oh my God. Okay, so my channel's not about politics, but since you mentioned this, it's been crazy fun watching people go berserk on Twitter over this. It's just, I'm sitting here with my coffee or my drink and just chilling. I'm scrolling. I'm like, hey, okay, you're having a meltdown just because of that, but yet you don't want free speech. Yeah, you're showing your true colors here. Okay. Was this fake news some kind of flirting? No, it wasn't. They were trying to prove me wrong and then mocking me because they were on the heel that George sold Star Wars because of the fan backlash, which the fan backlash was basically the media critics during the time. Yeah, so that's what that was out. Let's see here what you guys have to say. Ooh, okay, it jumped on me. Boba Fett. There you go. That's where they got the idea. I'm sorry. Maybe he did send that over and then we end up having Boba Fett. I don't know. I don't know, but that's funnier than hell. Funny thing, I just made a cheesecake with vegan cream cheese. Awesome. I hope it tastes really good. Some people, you do you. Not every day you get lampooned by a troll. I think I'm like topping my troll stuff here, Soul Assassin. I mean, you've been following me with back and forth with these trolls and stuff, so so this is fun. That was fun. There was a fan film made by the same who made Invincible short film. It was called Distant Echo and involved a crossover between Disney canon and EU, seeing Jaina and Rey fighting Kylo and Kaidus. Oh, I think I heard about that. I did not read it. At one point, I was thinking about doing a Sunday fan watch with that, just to compare, contrast, and have fun with it and see what happens. So that would be interesting. Mr. Dystopian says, imagine Han Solo being frozen in cream cheese and said, ew. Ew, that just imagine that like stinking after a while. Back to work. Okay, you have a good day. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for the chat, OG, and thank you for coming in. I have 17 of you beautiful souls here. Please hit the like button. Please share that we are live. Ryan says, I don't consider Disney Star Wars canon. I consider it another universe. I think that's a lot of people doing. And let's go ahead and scroll down here. Let's see here. Bring me back, Elon Musk. Bring me back to Twitter. Let's see here. Yeah. So this was the fun piece by a troll. And I like, you just won an award here. Thank you for entertaining me. This is funny. This is hilarious. And then they were convinced that I was Reen. So they had like the reface with the mask with the happy face in front of it, and they're like, this is OG, and I'm like, no, I actually thought this is amusing. I give you props for this, troll. This is amusing. Good for you. You actually did something meaningful for once. So that was amazing. So I just thought I'd share this with you guys because I thought it was funny. And I think you guys would have got a kick out of it. Let's see what you have to say. In the fan film, Kylo saying that lightsabers belong to me, but then Anakin, Luke, and Mara come and say the same thing. Oh wow, yeah. I love funny trolls like that because they're like good for a laugh. Yeah, they are. They are. And that's what I just told them. They thought I was reading about it. I'm like, no, dude, you just made this more fun. Thank you. And I get to share this with my peeps. Thank you. You are now the attention of laughter. And what you thought was like getting at me turned out to be something funny that I enjoyed. And that's not actually what you were supposed to be accomplishing, right? So I think you failed. I think you failed on that one. So, but that's okay. That's okay. And Buzz says, in my canon, something happened that caused Luke to go into hiding. I don't do my canon thing when it comes to justifying Disney Star Wars. No, why give them that much attention? With just go to the EU. Kenobi, Luke force dipped it in cream cheese. Oh my god. Yeah, so there's that right there. So again, this was fun. This was a fun take. And George just couldn't take it. George couldn't take all my ideas, my creative ideas. And he had enough of me. It's so much that, he ignored everything in his company, and I was just his main focus. And so he decided to sell. I don't know. It's funnier than hell. But in reality, when you listen to his interview with Charlie Rose, he basically says that some productions was costing them too much money during the time, and he had his employees to think about, his company to think about. He still wanted the fans to have Star Wars, so he was sincere about him selling. Like, he was sincere with the fans, about giving a Star Wars. And you don't know what the future is going to bring you, right? So at the time, he was like, hey, I want the fans to still get Star Wars. I want Star Wars to still live on, and blah, blah, blah. So, and so we know that was it Bob Iger's biography that, he was planting seeds in George's ears way before the buy off. So, he was already planting seeds in George on selling the company. And so he sold it because he wanted to make sure that his employees, his 2,000 employees that he had, still had a job, right? And he wanted to keep giving the lore and Star Wars to fans, because that was what was important to him as well. And he wanted his story to still be told. And that's why he included a few treatments when the buy-off was happening, right? And it never happened though, right? And not because of critics, not because of fans not liking Jar Jar. That was never it, because we all have characters in the EU and the movies that we hate and we love. And that's just what it is. And we may not all agree on the same points about Star Wars, but in general, my point was to this this brilliant troll that entertained me so well with this article. My point is that in between the movies, even during the movies and after the movies, before the buyout, fans love Star Wars so much that the EU kept Star Wars alive. The fans love Star Wars so much that they purchased EU material. They read the novels. We read the novels. We played the games. We read the comics. We got into the company magazines like Insider. We bought the merch. That is telling. If fans did not like Star Wars at all, then it wouldn't have survived in between the movies and after the movies with the EU, right? And that's telling right there. That is telling. And George got a world record for the most novels tied to a movie series. He also got a world record for the most merchandise sold too, as well. And so that's telling. That is telling. And and that was my point with them as well, because I think it was AT chat that was the one that posted about fans, the history of fans not liking Star Wars, like between these time periods, that I hate Star Wars, I hate this between these time periods. And I'm like, no, that's not the truth. And I'm just gonna share a little bit of my age. I was almost a young adult when the PT came out. So I was older than a lot of people. I'm an OT fan. I grew up on the OT. So kind of sharing my age here a little bit. May not look it, which I just love genetics. But anyways, that's not the point. Yeah, so I welcomed the PT. I watched it. I watched it because I was curious about Vader. I wanted to know about Anakin Skywalker. I wanted to know what made him turn, what happened, what events happened, why it happened. And I rather enjoyed it. And yes, there are some parts where it's like, yeah, George, you could have done better on the script here. But in the long run, it told the story. It was coherent to the OT. Yes, there was a little bit of missteps here and there. Missteps happen all the time. And but it told a great story. It pulled me into Anakin's journey. And it made me care about like what happened with Obi-Wan and Anakin, what happened with Padme and Anakin, and most of all about the twins being born. And so it gave a larger perspective on what was to come, like what had happened we've seen in the OT, and what happened for their birth and with their parents and stuff like that. And then it kind of solidified the EU with me, especially when you get into novels like later on, where it starts revealing like who Padme is towards the Skywalker, and Leia coming to terms with her Skywalker heritage, and learning about her grandma Shmi and on Tatooine and stuff like that. It solidifies all of that. It just makes it just makes it even more believable and real in that fantasy. And yeah, so that's just a little bit about me and the PT and how old I am and stuff like that. And I watched the critics. I watched media, the news critics criticize. And to me, and this has been how I always thought about critics, is that they don't really know the franchise. They just watch it to give their critique, right? But when they don't know a franchise and they don't know what's going on, then they're not going to give a fair assessment. But when you're little and that's your first experience with Star Wars is the PT, then maybe you're going to be more impressionable when it comes to media and think, oh yeah, they're right, instead of forming your own viewpoint. And I think that's where people who are younger and were small with the PT are coming from. And I get it, because you're so impressionable that the media, you're going to go, oh, critiques say this, so it has to be true, right? And but as a young adult, older teen and stuff, when you have a more I guess you could say developed mind, you see the bigger picture. So all right, so there's my little EU and movie tangent and stuff. Read a lot of the EU novels. Lost track of how many. There are so many, and it's such a great adventure. Showing age, I saw the original Star Wars in the theaters when it first came out. Mm-hmm. I was just itty bitty when I saw Empire Strikes comes out. And during the time, it either came out on the screen inside the movies or at the drive-in. God, I miss drive-ins. So even if it's brand new, the drive-in still have played it, right? So I saw it at drive-in. So there you go. So maybe I revealed a little bit more about my age. Chat, how old are you when the PT came out? Fake ages allowed. All right, there we go. So Soul Assassin has a question for you guys. If you guys want to share, go ahead. And thank you, Soul Assassin, for modding here. And for my mods, I think I'm going to have something special coming out for you guys' help and dedication to my channel when I do live streams. I know I've slowed down significantly because of events that happened in my life. So channel members, I'm so sorry for that. But it'll pick up. And my Holocron or my HoloNet journal, sorry that it didn't happen. I look forward to it because I love to give you guys history of Star Wars and Lucasfilm and back in time kind of thing. And so I'm so sorry for that. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow night. Maybe. No, tomorrow night we're on the road. Never mind. Yeah, but I do have a lineup. So maybe you guys will get a 2-for-1 for the month of April. Just for that. And maybe some special things. I don't know. I was 37 when the Phantom Menace came out. All right. Hey, Keely Chow, how are you doing? Hey, everybody. 14 when the PT episode 1 came out. So I was okay. So I'm going to reveal my age, you guys. I was drinking age. I was 21 when the Phantom Menace came out. So there you go. What's going on? Nothing. I just got done sharing. So you're going to have to rewatch. But we shared about Gina Carano not being accepted to going into like the classroom events and stuff at the pop culture fan event going on in Denver. And then that's on Twitter, so I'll retweet that. And then also about this funny article that someone shared about me right here. It's on the screen that I am the reason why George Lucas sold Star Wars. O.G.Starwars is the reason why. So that's some funny crap right there. That is some troll. Like this troll, just I'm like, if I can give you an award for the funniest troll effort ever, this is it. This is it. And thank you for the laughs, basically. I think they were trying to do a gotcha with me and it didn't work. I thought it was very entertaining. And then Soul Dystopian says, I was 6 when the Phantom Menace came out. And let's see here. Disruptive innovator. Hello, how are you doing? The more Disney stuff comes out, the more I appreciate the PT. And that's a lot of people too. I mean, there's people like PT was a mixed bag for a lot of people, but it still was well received. It still made great money for George. And then when you have a banger of a last in the trilogy, and that's Revenge of the Sith, where it just was epic all around, like, you know, mostly, I guess you can say. Yeah, it's just like an icing on it's the icing on the cake, right? It's icing on the cake. Let's see here. Soul Assassin. I was 9 when the Phantom Menace came out. I was youngling. Back off Skywalker. Oh my God, back off Skywalker. Let's see here. And Jefferson, I was 38 when the Phantom Menace came out. I was 15 going on 16 when I saw the original Star Wars in the theaters in 1977. Wow. That is great. Let's see here. And perhaps the worst thing Disney has done to Star Wars was making the Skywalkers not as important and the ending of it just 2 generations instead of going on for the hundreds of years. I agree. In fact, I didn't have time to get the excuse me, get the clip shared, but in Outcast, if you've read the Outcast novel from Fate of the Jedi, you have Luke going into exile. And when he's preparing and his son Ben is like, I'm going with you because I'm not the only one, you're not the only one affected by Jason Solo, what had happened. I need answers too, so I want to go with you. So Ben Skywalker goes into exile with his father. And he had like so many hours to get the F off of Coruscant, basically, is what Natasi Dala. And in fact, you guys, let's check it out real quick. Let me finish what I'm saying, and I'm going to check out. If you guys are new coming in, please vote. Which is your favorite Imperial officer? Imperial. It's up there, and I almost forgot about it. So go ahead and vote. I'll give you another few more minutes. But my point is like, okay, so he had so many hours to get the F out of Dodge, and so he's back at the temple, and they're getting ready to go and load up, the ship. And they make Luke go into the, the grand conference room there, and man, he has an awesome, awesome send off. And the speech that is given about him by shit, now I forget his name. Anyways, by the one that he leaves in charge, um, is amazing. It's like he's like, and I was like, I should share this with them today on coffee chat, but I didn't get it done. So if you follow me on my community page now on Twitter, I have that. It's interesting because not everybody can join, and I don't know why. So it's like something that I'm toying with on if I'm going to keep it or not. But if you follow me on Twitter, go ahead and join the O.G.Starwars channel community page, and I'll share that clip there with you guys instead of here. But it's amazing send off, and it's like something that Disney has failed to do, failed to give Luke Skywalker that legacy. And it's so freaking sad that they couldn't even do that. And it's very telling as well, because they were, if you think about it, you guys, they were truthful with us from the beginning. They even stated that they're going to put Luke in the shadows because he was, overpowering or overshadowing, or there's too much focus on Luke Skywalker when it comes to their new characters. So they didn't want Luke to outshine their characters. That's the first clue. That's the first clue they gave us. They were very honest with us. They were very honest with what they were going to do. And they did it. And here we are today. So I'll share that clip with you. It's from Fate of the Jedi Outcast. And so I will share that with you guys on that community page. So go ahead and check it out. And let's see here. So I am going to see here. I'm ending the poll right now, and it's going to come up in the stream and the thing here. I got to give it a second or two because StreamYard is not linked up with with YouTube when it comes to the polls and stuff. So I can't see it on the StreamYard side when it's done. So here we go. And here we go. So we have Mytharon Naruto. 42% of you guys favor him. Then we'll have Tarkin, 31%. And Isani Isard is 15%. And then Natasi Dala, 11%. So there are the standings there, you guys. So congratulations. And so let's talk about them. But let me get to the chat, and then we'll talk about them. Let's see here. Ryan Kirksey. Yeah, okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. And then in the EU, the Skywalkers went a long way from being a family of slaves to a branch of being Grand Masters of Jedi, and another being of Emperor of the Fel Empire. Correct. And that's a great way to do that. And here's the community right here. So again, if you guys are wanting to support the channel, continue to get awesome content and fun discussions outside of just what I post on my basic Twitter, then follow my community page, and I will post that clip there in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. Didn't want Luke to outshine their characters. Kind of failed with that, didn't you, Disney? Right. They still did, because fans are like, wow, you're not giving us any conclusion to these OT characters that are in continuity with their OT arc, basically. And so we don't want nothing to do with it. So yes, it did. They did shoot themselves in the foot with that. I honestly think they did. And now they're going back and giving us all kinds of OT stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys seen it, but there's a new Lego stuff that you can get, the trash compactor Lego set. You can get the trench run Lego set, and there's another one. What was it? I forgot the third one. So that's the new things that's coming out with Star Wars Legos. It's not the ST or the Disney trilogy, the faux lore. It's because they can't make money off of it, so they got to go back and give us something that's from George's era. And so that's another point of them shooting themselves, another, point of them shooting themselves in the foot. It's not a problem if don't focus on the the Kai Walkers. It's just the abysmal execution. Cobra Kai showed a way to do it right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I watched Cobra Kai like the first couple of seasons or whatever. Honestly, Disney could not have given their characters a separate trilogy if after ST, but no one cares anymore. What they could have done is Crucible tied up the big three, Han, Luke, and Leia, passing down the torch. They had a great opportunity to keep the EU and do something with those characters that they handed the torch down to, and that's Jaina, Ben, and Jagged Fell. I think that would have been well received. I think that would have been loved. But no, but that's just my opinion on that. Did I expect it? I don't know what I expected anymore. I mean, so there you go. I want my Boba Fett cookbook. Okay, so another little bit of fun fact about me is that I've written a children's book before, and I was junior high when I did this, and I won awards for it. So I know how to do that stuff. I could probably put together a fun little parody Boba Fett cookbook. That would be fun, just for fans, just for the hell of it, and stuff. So you're giving me ideas. I already have a lot on my plate, but that's okay. You're giving me ideas. I could say, okay, well, this is one idea here. Maybe I can do something like that. And then CBR came out with an ignorant article claiming Jabba would have lived longer than Yoda if he didn't die. They didn't know that Jabba was already 100 years older than Yoda. They don't know how to do their homework, basically. They don't know how. All right. So let's get into these Imperial characters. So chat, I have one question. Well, I'm going to have a series of questions for you guys. So the first one that won, is Thrawn Naruto, or Grand Admiral Thrawn. So tell me, what? I know some of you guys shared already. Besides his brilliance and tactician and stuff like that, what made you really, really like pay attention and like him? And this goes back to the Thrawn trilogy. So what, and it could probably just still would be the same tactical kind of brilliant minded person he is and stuff, but let me know. And if you have a different answer than that, let me know about it. So what was the thing that made you notice Thrawn from the beginning? So there's the first question, and I'm going to type it here. Okay. What was the first thing that made you pay attention, notice Grand Admiral Thrawn? So there we go. Because I was like, okay, sometimes if I just do the polls and we don't necessarily discuss why I did the poll, or I do it just in brief, but we don't discuss the characters. And we didn't do it the last poll. And we had some pivotal moments for some of those characters that we could have discussed. So let's go ahead and do that. So for Thrawn, what was the first thing that made you pay attention or notice Grand Admiral Thrawn? So this is to you guys in the chat, everybody here, myself, reading it and seeing that, he's Chiss, and thinking, oh crap, Chiss, okay, this person's blue. He's got these red glowing type eyes. The emperor really didn't seem to favor aliens. This guy is like this is like a humanoid type species, so there's some kind of leeway with that. So what made the emperor favor? And that was my first question, okay, so knowing and reading from what I knew with the empire and how they are xenophobic, what made the emperor favor this guy, right? And then learning more and more, why did he make him go into exile, and why and why and why? And so it took me down that rabbit hole with Thrawn. It did. So I got captivated. I started asking questions like, okay, so there has to be a reason for Palpatine to favor this man, because he's xenophobic. If you haven't noticed, in the history of Star Wars, the Emperor and the Empire are xenophobic. So that's where I got more intrigued. Okay, so there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason. And so that's what got me down that little rabbit hole with Grand Admiral Thrawn. And so let's go ahead and see. And then Whitlock says, as a person who went to college for studio arts and art history, him coming out with the art talk, and that's another thing too. Artist, I'm an artist too. With art talk right away made me love Thrawn. Yes, and he's like, you can tell the species and get to know them by their art. And I thought that was very interesting because we're so condensed just in the human race and stuff. And you and me teaching Native American art and being able to look at some beadwork and say that's from this tribe and that's from that tribe and these colors, this tribe specifically like these colors and blah 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 blah. I kind of got what Zahn was doing with his character there. So that was awesome. That was awesome. And then Orange Hat says, the first thing I noticed about Thrawn was he was Imperial, but also not human. That made me think he must have had something that Palpatine liked, as the Empire was speciest. Yeah. So xenophobic. Yes. And that was my thing too. It's like, okay, so what's going on? So, why did he favor him? And why did he make him go to exile? And there's another reason why for that and all that. The white suit on the Heir to the Empire novel cover. So you're like, bam, I got to know about him because of this. And that's the thing. So these new covers that are going out under Essential Legends label, this makes my point by Gordon here. You read with your eyes first. So when you see a cover, especially the X-Wing covers, oh my God, the classical X-Wing covers, you just look at it and you're like, I want to know what's going on. Right? Because you have them in action in battle above the planets or whatever's going on in the scenario in the covers, right? And so you read with your eyes first, just like you feast with your eyes first. So if you go to a restaurant and the plate and you order and the plate's well ranged, and even on the menu, if the plate's well arranged, you're like, ooh, okay, I might try that instead of my usual or whatever. So you feast, you read with your eyes first. And his blue skin, I thought George Lucas gave in and allowed a Smurf to be into Star Wars because of OG's constant emails. He listened to me. He did. So that's the point. See, so I don't have all bad ideas. I wanted blue people. I wanted a Smurf type character. And he took it and he's like, yeah, I'll do the blue, give him red eyes, and I'll make him like a villain. So kind of Gargamelish a little bit, not in a bad way. Gargamel's kind of like that little like hee running, run away tactic kind of villain, whatever. But yeah. So there you go. Good one right there. Thrawn was a true Imperial patriot and believed in its ideals and thought it was the best chance against the Vong. He also rarely executed his subordinates, unlike the fellow Imperials. Yep, exactly. And he basically states that. And let's see here. And Thrawn was a serious and competent opponent in the trilogy, something which is universally kind of rare. I think Zahn hit gold. And honestly, if you look into the creation of the EU for Star Wars and how it was considered canon, the Heir to the Empire or the Thrawn trilogy used to be the Empire trilogy. Is what helped seal in that the EU will be authentic to the movies, will be a part of the single canon. So that kind of sealed the deal with it. They were still keeping in continuity beforehand, but once they seen how much this series, this trilogy was well received by fans, they're like, let's continue this, and this is going to be continuation of the saga. And so I think that was a brilliant thing that from Zahn and Lucasfilm in general is the well-received stories that Zahn gave us that did, and the decision of where they want to take the EU because of that. Bahamut Zero, O.G.Starwars. I noticed Thrawn back in 202 or 2002 when I looked up Luke Skywalker in the official Star Wars database and saw the EU tab and got introduced to the EU in general. Well, welcome. Yes. And hopefully that's been such an exciting adventure for you, because it has been for me. And revisiting it now is still very much exciting. I refuse to let Disney make me feel sour about Star Wars, because I know the heart of Star Wars is in George Lucas era, and nothing can take that away. Nothing. So Whitlock says, and the details he talks about in art are the techniques as much as the style. Correct. As an oil painter, I love it. Yeah, I know. And that's another thing too. That caught my eye, because I grew up an artist. The minute I could pick up a crayon, I was like making stuff. I would wake up in the morning and watch PBS art channels like Bob Ross and other channels or other shows that had to deal with art. I would get blank pieces of paper, or I would find paper that that's not being used anymore and flip it to the blank side, and I would start drawing and stuff like that. And art was always, and I'm not trying to brag, this is just my reality, art was always an easy A for me. Easy A or A plus. Sometimes I'd get extra credit just for some things that I created. Again, not bragging, that's just my story. And then Kathy Skywalker says, true about the xenophobia. No other species were allowed in the Imperial service. And he was kind of sexist. There were some women that made their way up, rightfully so. And if you did the poll that then you would know that there were a few women that made their way up through, but they were ruthless. Dala and Isani Iceheart are ruthless. They stood their ground. They rightfully earned their place. Let's see here. Disney just doesn't feel too much like real canon and just won't be real canon. Nope. And I also think Palpatine couldn't send a human to the unknown regions to deal with the Vong. Yeah, are the also the outside threats of the area. And then Thrawn's red eyes are cool. Yeah, they are. And then I also think Palpatine was personally not a xenophobic, seeing that his master was Mun, his first. I think eventually that's where he uses them. So if the other species benefited him in which way, he will use them. So that's I think I've been in this discussion before, but if the species benefited Palpatine, he tolerated and he used them. And we know that the apprentice uses the master to get where they need to be and then kills them off. So so basically he just seen them as a tool. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Palpatine seen any species that he brought in or studied under or whatever, they were just a tool for him to get from point A to point B. That's just it. Michael, the art thing is actually real. In some grand strategy book I read, it was saying the same thing. Yeah. All right. And then OG, what about the human-sized Smurf? And that was epic, Soul Assassin. Homie, you are amazing. And then can you imagine what Thrawn could have done with the resources Dala had at the point of Darksaber? That lady never won a single battle and kept getting free imp destroyers. Let's see here. I discovered Thrawn back in 2019 when I heard something that says that should have made the Thrawn trilogy into sequel trilogy. Now, did you get into, which one did you get into? Did you get into the Thrawn, the Disney Thrawn or the original Thrawn? All right, so let's move on. So we'll have Tarkin. Same question. What? And he is a movie character. So Thrawn is a strictly EU character, right? So Wilhoff Tarkin is basically, he began off in the movies. Of course, we know who he is because of them, because of him. And we only seen him in one. And then so to learn more about him, you had to read the EU. So my question still stands, and it can go in movie wise or EU wise about Tarkin. So what was the moment that got you into or made you notice and want to learn more about Tarkin? So please share. So what is the moment you noticed or got you wanting to know more about Tarkin? Go ahead and share that. I put the question here. What is the moment you notice or got or wanting, not got, but wanting to know more about Tarkin? So ignore the got there, or got you wanting to know. So basically, you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Let's see here. We knew in Dark Empire sourcebook that Palpatine allowed for Thrawn to be killed instead of helping him because he didn't want Thrawn to get all the glory for destroying the New Republic. Let's see here. And then Disney Thrawn almost feels like a protagonist, where EU Thrawn feels like spiteful villain. Protagonist is a good guy. So you're saying that he feels like a good guy? Like he's this some kind of hero? Is that what you're trying to say? And there's a question again. Let's see here. Disney don't want to pay royalties. That was the main reason they dropped the EU in the first place. I think from what the interview George had with Kennedy, when he said, I gave you a treasure trove of books, blah, 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 I think they got all the rights to that, other than reprinting and giving the royalties to the authors, which is part of the contract for them in the books. That's probably the point you're trying to make, because in reality, they have the rights to the books. They just, per licensee, have to pay the authors on reprints. I want to know more about Tarkin when he was killed in the episode 4, when I found out more about him in Rogue Planet. Okay, awesome. Fun fact, where'd my screen go? Okay. Fun fact, OG swapped Peter Cushing boots with slippers because of wanting to make the Empire more fun. Lucas just accepted it. There we go. Boom. See, I have a lot of influence even when I was a baby. Even when I was a baby, I had a lot of influence, So there you go. Let's see here. And then Boba's ship in Disney, fire spitter, fire spray, basically the same thing. Oh my goodness. So that with Tarkin, so if you guys, I know maybe some of you guys haven't read much about Tarkin in the EU, and I understand if you haven't, and I encourage you to. But so I'm going to move on with the same question. So Natasi Dala, she is an EU character. Whew. And so I want to know, like, if you read about her, like, what got you into liking her? Like, what made you notice her in the EU? So Natasi Dala, what made you notice Natasi Dala in the EU? So what are some pivotal moments if you want to share? And I'll go ahead and go with the same thing. What made you notice Isani Isard in the EU? So there you go. And then the Disney Thrawn at least feels like his intentions are to protect people. The EU Thrawn feels like a pure hateful Imperial. Disney Thrawn feels like he's just on the wrong side. And that's the thing. So I did a video about, like, the original Thrawn is not the same as Disney Thrawn, and you made my point here. The EU Thrawn, he's a patriot for the Empire. He's purely a patriot for the Empire. He had a plan with Palpatine on his quote unquote exile, and he came back after. And so when he came back after the defeat, and all you have is the remnant of the Empire, he's like, we need to fix this, because he's a patriot. We need to gain back control in honor of the empire. And that's why you see how he is there. So he is totally patriot. Whereas in Disney, it feels like he's this, like you said, on the wrong side. And I think Thrawn or Zahn was told to make him different than the EU Thrawn. And so this is where the confusion starts with the Thrawn in the Disney Star Wars. And I don't think it's well done. I say stick with the original Thrawn. O.G.Starwars, no, you intimidate George with your street name. Oh, I intimidated him, huh? It's my gangsta style. I came in there dressed up as a gangsta, got my native braids on. I was like, yo, George, you need to take those effing boots off him. He needs to be comfortable. We need to show the fun side of the empire because they represent us gangstas. You gonna do it? I don't know. That was bad. I noticed Dala because it was basically historical seeing her fail again and again. Yeah, she's got that thing. And I think once you get into the Legacy era with Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi, you get to see more more of her ruthlessness and what's going on and stuff. So if you haven't read that, I recommend it. Besides O.G.Starwars, okay, I'm like read that all wrong. Blah. Okay, I started in the first 4 X-Wing books is absolutely terrifying, but she got stupid the moment she left Coruscant. Yeah, I mean, she was like, yeah, she was a fun character in the series. Didn't remember much of Dala, but I remember just how cruel and crazy she was. Also, she was infatuated with Palpatine, causing a rumor to spread about and that's basically, we get that with Dala too, is like they had an affair is what it alluded to in the lore. I think Thrawn never lost a battle. He got assassinated. Let's see here. And then I think if Dala were in place of Holdo, it would make her failure seem natural instead of the script changing it and suddenly making her a genius. Interesting. Interesting. So before we close down here in the show here, I wanted to pull up an Insider 25 1994 issue of the Insider. That was a lot of words that didn't need to be said. So Insider number 25. That was printed in 1995. And I just wanted to go through all the fun things that's in there. And then there's an interview with Anthony and James Earl. And that I thought was interesting. I didn't want to really get into the article. Maybe we'll do it for another coffee chat and those articles, but I thought it'd be fun since there's so much talk on Twitter about toys and George Lucas promoting his movies for toys and Star Wars franchise for toys and stuff like that. Let's see here. And okay, so the Dala maneuver when she poisoned her rival Imperials. Boom, that was ruthless right there. That was basically gangster. She's like, I'm having control of this shit. She got her mask on, and there was someone else she masked. I think it was Pelion. Was Pelion in there with her? But I don't remember now. It's been a while since I read that one. But man, yeah, she's like, boom, you guys are gone. I'm in control of this shit. So yeah, so that was amazing. That was amazing. So let's see here. Like my sunglasses here. So there you go. Let me go ahead and get the screen share on that. I don't know where I want to start with that, so I'm just gonna pull it up, and then we'll begin from there. Screen share. They need screen share music. Okay, window, and here we go. Share. All right. So this, if you guys don't know what this is from, I would like to see you guys guess. What is this from? If you know your EU, you should know this already. This image. What do you think that's from? All right. I'll give you guys a second or two, and then we'll get out of this right here. But this is issue number 25 that was printed or came out in 1995. And we have the first answer. Ding, ding, ding. There you go. And there's a young Palpatine right there. Doesn't look like the clone Palpatine in the Disney full lore, does it? Gray Empire? Are you saying that trying to trigger me? Huh? Let's see here. Dark Empire, the return of Palpatine. There you go. There you go. You guys all passed the test. I am very proud of you guys. Yay. Okay. So this again, like I said, it's issue 25 from 1995. And so let's see here. Let's go back. And it has Indiana Jones, but let me go ahead and start from the beginning. I just wanted to share this with you guys because, you know, Insider was such a wonderful resource back then, whether it had articles from fans, like questions from fans, what's going on the latest with Lucasfilm, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, what have you. So I thought this would be fun to look through because it's like fun to nerd out when it comes to all this stuff. Let's see here. I just want to get to I should just type 1. That'd be easier. 1 and enter. There you go. So I shared this on the community page. So if you're not a part of the community page, I recommend, I will send out a link here pretty soon on Twitter so you can join. But this is Insider 25 and Star Wars Insider. The Droid versus Dark Lord. Anthony Daniels and James Earl Joins go one-on-one with the Insider Plus. And Plus, and it has everything else that it has in here. And so look at this. I thought this was funny, and I thought this was fun because, you know, basically Anakin is the maker of C-3PO. So I thought this was a fun piece of art right here. And so I shared this on the community page. And so then you get into all the merch. And this goes back to, what is this, Script Trooper, about his little back and forth with the Disney shills. Well, that's what George did all the time, and that's the purpose. So what are you trying to say? You just clowned yourself, and they're going off on about him. And really, you know, made his tweet very much viral with his point of, like, there's no reason why Rey Palpatine needed to ignite her lightsaber at the end of The Rise of Palpatine. It's only done for merch reasons. And like I said, my point was, George, every single bit of Star Wars that George did, there's a reason, a purpose. Yes, he made merchandise from it, but when it comes to the story that you see and the story that you read, every character, and I used Riken as an example earlier, is that they had a purpose to move the story along. There was really no, and I get Script Trooper's point, there was really no reason for her to ignite the saber. We seen Luke with his brand new constructed saber, and it was lit for a reason. It wasn't just lit. He didn't ignite it for no reason like she did. So he had a great point. They had a point too, saying, you know, like Star Wars does make merch off of their franchise, and they do. But question here, and you guys could probably, or I already know you guys' answer here. Do you really think that they were successful with their merchandise? It's like their merchandise is only as successful as the movies, as the content is, right? And George's merchandise during his time was very, very popular because Star Wars was very, very popular because the story delivered. It was coherent. It kept a good continuity with each other. Yeah, there were hiccups, right? Always is. But because of the story, because the story was well received, people wanted to buy the merch. The story in the Disney trilogy is not well received, so people are not buying the merch. That's why they're resorting back to the original 6 movies on selling merch now. Okay, so there you go. And then so we have like Rebel Ramblings here. So if you guys have never gotten to Insider, you'll find that there's articles, or there's, you know, fans submitting letters to Star Wars. So letters from our Star Wars fans. And maybe one day we'll read through a lot of these and I'll clip some and we'll just go through the fun part of that. And then, of course, you have the merch here, you know, the Untold Star Wars merch saga. And then, you know, of course, we have the fans, letters from the fans continued. And then prequels update with Rick McCullen. And so this is George Lucas, and this is like when he's like has the idea for the prequel. So this is 1995. We know that, the Phantom Menace came out in 1999. And so this basically is just an update with what's going on with that. And I thought about reading this with you guys. So maybe we'll save this article for next coffee chat next week. And then, but this is a quote from, from the article here. I just watching him, Lucas basically began to weave the characters together is amazing. Each week we see a dramatic increase in that. That's where his real genius is. The ability to take ordinary things and names and characters, events and stories and put a twist on them. So there you go. So we'll go ahead and read this. This will be fun read, and something fun to go over with, the creation of the PT. And so let's see here. Straight from the Horse's Mouth by Bob Cooper. So basically this is about Dark Empire, another fun one that I want to make it like we go through one article in Insider for Coffee Chat, and just really dive into, the making of Star Wars, the EU, what's going on during that time frame. And then Lucasfilm's latest we have from licensing. These are just updates, fun stuff here. Let me see the chat here real quick because I'm not seeing you guys in the screen because I have a different screen open. Let's see here. I have several EU shirts with some having Revan and Nihilus, one with Thrawn saying his last words, another with Heir to the Empire cover, and the last with Darth Krayt, Nil, and Talon. Awesome. I love that collection. Oh my God. I need to get some. I want to get the one with Ron saying his last words, like so artistically done because I'm an artist. That would be fun to have. So if you have that link, or if anybody has that link where I can find that shirt, I would love to have that and sport it on my channel when I'm talking with you guys. Let's see here. Let's see. Disney made the want for Lucas era merch more in demand. Right. I agree. I totally agree with that. And let's see here. Definitely the merchandise helped. Disney completely effed up with the merch. Exactly. And let's go. And then we have the memes of destruction. Hello, how are you doing? Hey guys, what's going on? We had a fun discussion, so I recommend you go catch the replay. So the rewatch. So we discussed about the latest with Gina Carano not being accepted into like the classrooms events and stuff at the fan event in Denver with pop culture. And so that was an interesting little discussion. And then also a little bit about like the Disney boycott that's going on and the protest that's going on with Disney right now. And then about a troll who made a very interesting article about me. And that's funnier than heck. So that was fun. I basically had an influence. If you don't know Means of Destruction, it's because of me that George Lucas sold. Because of me. So, and now we're just going over a little bit of insider stuff, talking about merch and all that fun stuff. And just nerding out about pre-Disney Star Wars, where the heart of Star Wars is at. And thank you for dropping in. The sequels didn't have, and this is from Whitlock, the sequels didn't have the depth of world building and character construction that the EU has, where a backstory to everything your eye can see before the ST. Correct. They did an excellent job on giving us like even the making of like world building in general. Oh boy, and we have Tuscan Bob in here. Please, you guys go subscribe to Tuscan Bob, a channel member. And so I'm going to go ahead and read this. Shouldn't an article called Straight from the Horse's Mouth be written by Kathleen Kennedy? I should do a parody account called Straight from the Horse's Mouth by Kathleen Kennedy and do some funny shit articles about that. You came in with a good one, sir. And I could see him talking and doing his sign language. And Rogue Disney. Well, I don't like the sequels. I am a fan of the Fallen Order's characters, actually. I'm happy that there's some things that you like. And, like I said, I'm not telling you what and you shouldn't like. However, this channel's mainly about George Lucas era. And then Whitlock says, this is my first time in a live. I really enjoyed this. I liked how you made us part of this discussion. That's my whole point, coffee chat. grab your coffee. It's like coming up 11 my time now. I start at 9 a.m. where I live at. So coffee chat, and we discuss. And that's what I love. What would you think of a female Skywalker going to the dark side of the sky, and a Skywalker who couldn't be redeemed? I think it'd be just the same as just Cadus or Jason Solo, just female. I don't think gender has any specifics or any value to it. I think it's just if the person, what they decide, and if they fall and stuff. And that's my whole point with this, like, oh, well, there was never a female protagonist and we need more female characters, blah, 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 blah. Star Wars gave you that through the movies and into the EU. We did see, people fall. I just don't think that the gender has any significance to it. Really, I don't. Especially if someone's going to fall and stuff. It's just the same thing, just as female or male. The reason, and I think maybe guys would probably like to see, like, for the male fans, a female character fall and go dark and stuff. For whatever reason, I think a lot of guys like female Siths and female Darksiders. And guys in the chat, if you agree with me, put a Y in the chat. Like Darth Talon is a great example. I know a lot of you guys like Darth Talon. So if you agree that it's intriguing to see a female Darksider or Sith, put a Y in the chat. The reason the sequels didn't have world building is because of the prequels. Disney was afraid adding, my virus scan wants to come up. Disney was afraid of adding them would remind the reignite prequel haters. That's a cop out. It's stupid. Rogue Disney. Oh, okay. You guys are discussing. Let's see here. We do have some Y's going on now. What's funny is that Fallen Order was technically made by EA, not Disney, but they still license it, and that's the whole point. And I think it's a licensed product, so it's still Disney, it's still Lucasfilm, and they still make money off of it. They still approve it. And so if people are playing something that's Disney's or Star Wars made by EA, for example, and they're like, oh, well, I'm still not supporting Disney. Yes, you are, because of the licensing. And I think that's what people forget. Unlike the Raylos, OG has no problem with you liking the Disney canon. Enjoy what you like, but respect those who don't. Correct. Let's see here. Female Siths. And then a Y. I only got 2 people put Y. Are you guys in denial here? Are you guys like, does Kriya count as a female Sith? She went dark. So dark side. So dark side, going dark, are Sith. There you go. Let's see here. Maybe in Fallen Jedi, I guess you could say, if you want to go that way. And then Whitlock says hey, my favorite character is a Gand, and I don't know if they even have genders. I don't think so. I think, yeah, and I think when we were talking about this pronoun thing that was being brought into Star Wars with Disney, we have used the example of Oral. And like once he talked in like the third person, I believe, but once he accomplished himself, then he taught. I think then he went back to, I guess you could say, regular speech, as like saying I instead of we kind of deal. So there was a reason to that, and it made sense for the species. And with Disney, they're just inserting it to insert it, where with Oral, there was a reason. And then after he accomplished and after he became his own self, then he started, referring to himself in the first, like I and stuff like that, rather than the third. So there you go. Let's see here. Stop trying to scan, you piece of crap. Okay, Darth Zana was pretty badass. Yeah, she was. Me, OG, female Sith. He's like, why? Like, why? And then let's see here. And then female Siths are great. Zana, Cognos, Githany, Vice. Yep, there you go. And I see that's where, there you go. So points made right there. So let's go back here. I usually like to end within 2 hours. And so we're coming up on 2 hour mark, but we might go over a little bit. Let me see here. And so let's get the real characters at LucasArts. So there you go. So LucasArts basically is the gaming and stuff like that. And again, I think next week we will go into some of these articles and have fun nerding out with these articles. And then the world of Indiana Jones. Let's see here. And then what does it say? Scoring the trilogy. So there's fun articles in here, but I'm trying to go forward here. And basically, Star Wars conquers Toy Fair. And so this goes in with the script troopers like tweet and how he got ratioed and all this other stuff. Yes. And like I said, the point is, if a franchise is successful with telling their story, they're going to be successful with selling their merch. And George was successful on both ends, right? Even with the clunky dialogue that some parts of the PT had, he was successful. He was successful. And he also won like the world record with his, being successful with his franchise, especially selling the merch. And so here we go. So we have all these toys here and stuff like that. And again, I stand with, you have to be successfully telling your story to successfully sell your merch. And so what the script trooper was saying is like, Rey was igniting her saber. There was no reason for her to do it. It was only for it to sell merch. However, and then my point to that, and I agreed with him, is that, George, even his secondary characters had a point to evolve the story. And again, I use Riken as an example, right? And so if you're not successful in telling your story, you're not going to be successful in telling your merch. And that was his point. There was no reason for her to ignite her lightsaber at the end. And look at this thing right here. This is a limited edition back then, authentic life-size Yoda figurine. Now, the local comic store in the town near where I live, because I live on a reservation, so in town where I live at, has this. They have this in a display. It's amazing. It's amazing, but it looks creepy at the same time. So they have this character there in display, and they have a full-size version of Boba Fett as well, which is amazing as well. And next time I go in, I'll take another picture of them. Pretty cool stuff right there. And I don't know if any of you guys remember this at all. And then we have the plates. I have the plate LPT1. I have that. I don't have the other ones. And the coins and stuff. So again, Lucas was successful, stutter here, selling, are giving us a great story. So he's successful with his merch. And that's just how it goes. Disney, Star Wars, not so much. And look at these figurines here. So I just wanted to share this to make that point, like the little card collections here and their boxes and stuff like that. Your mugs, keychains, all of that, figurines, all of that. Some of the stuff I'm like, I wish I would have had, or some of the stuff I did have, I wish wasn't lost over time, are given away. There are circumstances where some of my stuff was given away, and I just don't want to go into that story here. But look at that. Look at this amazing stuff. It's so cool, and even my younger self, my 12-year-old inner 12-year-old, as George Lucas has said before, just is nerding out on this, just looking at this and like, oh my gosh, to be a kid again. And let's see here. And so we have the helmets here, like, Vader's and the Stormtrooper here, the characters, amazing stuff there. And so looking through these, you nerd out, you wish you had, and stuff, and it's amazing stuff. Let's see here. Let's see in the chat here. LucasArts made some great stuff, so Disney killed it. There was stuff towards the end. There was some stuff that was going on, but I agree. And mostly LucasArts had some great stuff, and they ended like what was supposed to come out, 1313, right? We were talking about that earlier. And, so people anticipated 1313. We didn't get it because Disney killed it, right? I agree. Tuscan Bob, I agree. Wish we could have gotten more about the rule of two Sith from Bane to Sidious. There have only been 30 Sith in 1,000 years. I know that would have been amazing, but now the rule of two doesn't exist. It's like there's two that rule over many, which is stupid So they reinterpreted that. Let's see here. OG fact 210. She came up with the idea for you're on fire with this. She came up with the idea for Rancho Kenobi. All that merch was actually hers till that dude bought it all. Oh, let me see. He says, correction, Rancho Obi-Wan. Oh man, yes. So we're gonna close this out, but there's one thing, and I shared it, and I was gonna put it on the screen, but I'm not going to. So I forgot who shared it now on Twitter, but basically there is a like acknowledgement or an excerpt saying that Lucas had the idea or already had from the beginning that Vader, and this is from George's mouth, but we know he says things and sometimes he contradicts himself. But George basically said from the beginning, he did have the idea of Vader being Anakin and being, Luke's father. So I shared that on Twitter. And so many people say, oh, George never had that idea about Vader being his father, blah, blah, blah. Well, that says he does, and now that's up for debate. So if you, so maybe we'll discuss that a little bit more next week as well. So think about that, do your research, and we'll discuss that. And I'll pull up many articles, including that from the book, from Empire Strikes Back or Making of Empire Strikes Back or whatever it was from, and we'll have that fun discussion as well. Let's get into that. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of like George saying stuff and sometimes contradicting himself, because we all know he does. That's never been my case, that George, George's word truth or words are value, quotes are value. I love the Micro Machine Star Wars toys. Yes. All right. Let me see here. And it jumped on me. Hello. Hi, Michael. I think Soul Assassin wrote that article. Laugh out loud. Soul Assassin is the bot. He is the bot. He's like went in disguise and he's like, I'm gonna troll Allure big time. Lucas handled it pretty well to keep that twist under wraps. Yes, he did. And I think, and in the end, when they were actually filming that, and we'll discuss this more next week. Damajanai, we're going to get ready to close out here, but hello. Hail, Damajanai. Hello, my pimp. How are you doing, my fellow pimp? So you're not that clever. That would have been funny though, but you came up with this other stuff. So hello here, but we'll discuss that, because what I was saying before I said hello to Damajanai, can't even talk here. Stutter, sorry. Damajanai is that no one really knew about that up until it was being filmed. So even Mark Hamill didn't know about that. So he kept that up pretty close wraps, and he was good about that. May head off. OG, see you later. Yes, thank you. We're getting ready to close out here. So if you guys are coming in, I have 20 of you beautiful souls here. Please hit the like button. Please check out the merch. Please join the community as well. I'll post that clip that I was sharing with you, that it was Kent that said that. He about him, that beautiful, wonderful, emotional speech about Luke when he was going into exile in the EU. So I'll share that in the community page after I'm done here. So that will be there. But if you haven't had a chance to check out my community page on Twitter, and please hit the like button, please share. If you're first coming in, please go back and watch the rewatch. It's funnier than heck, entertaining. And thank you guys all for hanging out with me. I appreciate your continued support of George Lucas era of Star Wars, and keeping it alive and well and thriving. And that's the purpose of the channel. And that's the purpose I know you guys are all carrying in your hearts here. So continue to share on Twitter, on all social media, about what you love about George Lucas era of Star Wars, the EU, movies, games, what have you, and keep it up in front of everybody. And now is the most important time to keep Obi-Wan Kenobi in front of everybody, his true lore, because there's going to, from what we've seen, there's going to be looks like a Tatooine fight. May not be. It might just be something we don't know yet, but keep his story, his true canon story, in front of the masses. The true authentic story of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if you guys want to know more about that, I do have a coffee chat where we specifically discuss that. And I will put that link down below. And I'll share the link again on Twitter with you guys in the community chat. So thank you guys for all hanging out with me. And cheers to you guys for making it through another coffee chat. I enjoy my mornings with you guys and discussing Star Wars and news. And, continue to share what you think about what's going on with Gina Carano, because I guess apparently they're still trying to keep her canceled, but they're not working. It's not working. And also about the boycott, because I think the current Disney boycott is larger than what we see going on with Gina Carano, because parents are not standing for it. And they're protesting in front of Disney, Star Wars, Disney parks here in California, not Disney Stars. It's not just a Disney Star Wars thing anymore. It's not. Disney owns multiple companies and stuff like that, and franchises. So thank you guys again for coming, and keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it pre-Disney Star Wars. Yes, we are doing well, Damaj and I, and thank you for coming in as well. And again, you guys, if you guys have a chance, follow Damaj and I and others from Dark Council, and they rotate where Dark Council is going to be aired on between their channels. So keep up to date on that and support them as well. And thank you guys again. And Mr. Dystopian, see you later. You guys have a good day, and I shall talk with you guys later.